So now someone gets into trouble for declining a piece of work due to them not wanting to do it because of going against their beliefs. The person didn't even say anything bad about why they didn't want to do commission the artwork. That's fine. Why does something like this get absolutely blown up? But let's chat further and in more detail about this because this is just ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful Monday morning. I came across this on X over the weekend. And I mean, mind you, I don't really use X, but for some reason, this was posted to my notification bar. Um, it's very weird. I don't even follow any of the people involved in this. But so I had a look at it because I was curious. I saw a little bit of what the post was about initially. And it was essentially this artist that was complaining. I'm not going to name anybody in this discussion. I don't want to give anybody a platform or anything like that. I don't want to have anyone mentioned as well. Just if you really want to know about it, then you can search it on Twitter yourself. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it because it bothered me. And that'll make a little bit more sense as I go in. But just to do a background check. So I went in, I clicked on the pop up, and I got to the post. And it was about this artist that was complaining that they declined to do because it was I don't exactly know the genders that was being used in this, but either a gay or lesbian couple that was engaging in, I don't know if it was not safe for work or if it was safe for work, but they were engaging in something romantic. I don't know. I've gotten a couple of art commissions done myself in the past, but they were essentially complaining about how they had rejected doing this commission, and they used the reasoning because of their religious beliefs. They didn't feel comfortable drawing it, and they got attacked relentlessly on X because of it. They were being called a bigot, a homophobe, a Nazi, anything that you can possibly imagine that the people call anybody that doesn't agree with their viewpoints nowadays. They got called those things, and they were complaining about it because it was frustrating because they have a right to decline doing artist work or artworks that make them uncomfortable, and they were just being attacked about it. And so it seems like a very basic thing, right? You're an artist, you don't want to do a specific kind of art, you have the right to decline it. There was a comment I saw by somebody, and they said that the moment the excuse of it being due to their religious beliefs, that's when they feel like this reaction was justified because they are now morally judging this person that wanted the artwork done. And it bothered me because I'm also a religious person, and I have my own set of beliefs and can also have gay friends, right? Even trans friends. Ooh, look at that. Imagine that. Because I don't project my religious beliefs onto other people that will hinder them from living the life the way that they want. I've often said that human beings are intelligent beings. We are very sentient. And so, with that, we've evolved into so much more than just being black and white, right? We're complicated, we're complex beings. And that's fine, you know? This does not apply towards anything revolving around mental illness. But, if you want to live your life, be the sexuality or have the sexuality that you want, by all means, go ahead. Doesn't affect anybody around you whatsoever. But the way that this person turned it now into this person was morally judging them, where they could have just said, no, I don't want to do the gay art and leave it at that and leave it up for interpretation. They now made it a morally judgmental viewpoint. And somebody in the comments in response to that person said that it wouldn't have mattered what that person said. People would still call them homophobic and a bigot regardless. And the person's counter argument was just completely ridiculous. They said that, by not saying it's, due to religious beliefs, they would have left it open for interpretation, which makes no sense to me. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what that means, because it's been a roaming topic for a while now that people use all these words, these words like homophobe, bigot, all these things. They call people these things, and they really have no idea what any of it means.
So what annoys me is that the person that got asked to do the commission is standing with their beliefs. Everyone's got their own beliefs, and everyone should respect their beliefs. That the person, the artist, didn't come to them and say, "Oh no, I don't draw homophobic pieces because it's whatever." Didn't say that. They just said because of beliefs. It wasn't making fun of the person. It wasn't shooting down the person that wanted the artwork done. Just what annoys me so much, just because you got rejected, now all of a sudden, oh, okay, I must defend myself. Jeez, so go get yourself checked out, dude.
So, like I said before, I am also a religious person. I wasn't always a very religious person. I actually, about 5 or plus years ago, started to become more in tune with my religion, just because of some personal things. I was just seeking more meaningful fulfillment in my life. And so I pursued that because it made me feel a lot more stable, right? But that was just me, a part of my personal journey that I went on because it helped me. And that's always been one of the goals of these broadcasts. It was to talk about things, to share ideas, to share views, and hopefully, if it resonates with anybody in the world, if it can help anybody in the world, even if it's just one person, then that's more than enough. But when the person that made the comment on it becoming now that the artist was morally judging the individual for what they had said, I will read to you what the artist said, and this is based on my research that I did that I could find. Not going to post the picture here because the screenshot has a lot of edits on it that I don't agree with people highlighting certain points and trying to prove their point. Not in good faith at all, so I don't want to spread that. But essentially, message goes off. It was sent at about 4:54 p.m., whatever time zone this person's in. And it says, "Hi, person's name. I was reviewing the waitlist and came across your Yamship request. I truly apologize for the mistake of adding you before carefully reviewing it. Unfortunately, I will not be able to work on this piece as I do not draw queer couples. Please know it's absolutely nothing against your character or idea. It simply comes from my personal religious belief, and I'm trying to stay faithful to that. I deeply apologize for not clarifying this earlier and for any inconveniences, disappointments this may concern. I'm sincerely grateful for your interest in this person's channel or service or profile, the artist's profile. They mention themselves. And I truly appreciate your understanding. Thank you so much again. And I'm really sorry for the oversight. Very respectful, apologized. I came to learn that this person's from Indonesia and they are Islam. And for those of you that might not know, Islam, they do have these kinds of religious beliefs. So it's not far-fetched. It's not an excuse. It's actually part of their ideals. And so the comment coming out like this just feels like a very, very disingenuous comment that's meant to enrage people because this person doesn't agree with their viewpoints, which is kind of like something that we notice quite a lot with these loud minorities, right? They hate when people don't agree with them, and that's the reality, right? I saw a lot of comments of people spreading hate, being so horrible to this individual, this artist, and nothing that they said deserved that kind of hate, and they were calling them homophobic, etc. And the craziest thing is, just because you say that it is due to your religious beliefs that you cannot do something makes you uncomfortable, that does not mean you're morally judging this person. That does not mean that you are homophobic. That does not mean that you are a bigot. Why is it that we are expected to respect these people's viewpoints, but they don't respect ours? And I'm speaking specifically for this person from their perspective, right? They have their ideals, they have their beliefs, and they want to stay true to it. And then this person that wanted the commission, they do not respect that person's beliefs. So why would you expect that person to respect yours? Why do you demand that? We can respect each other's viewpoints and also not agree with it and not be homophobic. That is just the reality. And just to explain it, right, why this irked me so much is because I am somebody that wants to express my religious beliefs. I'm somebody that stands by my faith, and it serves as a foundation for a lot of things that I do, a lot of decisions that I make, and a lot of ways I try to improve myself. And so just because, you have religious beliefs and that serves as reasoning for what you do, that doesn't mean that you're homophobic. Holding a religious belief that disapproves of gay relationships does not automatically make you homophobic. Homophobia is the fear or hatred or actions that demean or exclude, maybe even harm lesbians, gays, bisexuals, queer people. A belief on its own is not the same as a hostile feeling or discriminatory behavior. That is not the same. Just like you'll probably find Christian, Islamic people, Jewish people that are fine with drawing gay art. And then you'll find some that's not because it makes them uncomfortable. That it's just something to keep in mind. And I don't like that this is the kind of information that we are spreading now.
See, and that's just it. It's exactly how you said it there when you read out that passage. There was no hate over there. It was a nice message. There was nothing wrong with that. Why is it always one sided with so many people? No one, I mean, human race is just not going to go forward if this gets pushed into the media and becomes more prominent. It's honestly disgusting. It's different if the artist said it's wrong, do better, or a lot more worse sentences than I just said now. Then that's bad. But not what this artist did. There was nothing wrong with that. People are so quick to react in such a negative and hostile way to something that wasn't even hostile to begin with.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing. I'm a religious guy that has gay, trans, lesbian friends, right? And I care about these people and I respect these people. But it's a lot of people I don't want to attack anybody, but a lot of these people, they feel like they always have to be defending themselves. That anything said towards them or their way of life that doesn't immediately agree and praise it is hating on it, is shitting on it, is being judgmental. And to be honest, this person's view on religion, just using the fact that you have a religious belief, using that to say that they're being morally judged, that tells me more about this person's views on religion than the actual artist that made the comment and how they view gay relationships. To me, it seems like the artist understands and respects that these types of relationships exist, but they don't want to engage with it because they feel uncomfortable about it. That could be for multiple reasons. This person is doing the person that requested the artwork, they are being transparent with them in telling them the reason behind it. It's called honesty. I feel bad that I made a mistake and got your hopes up for a commission when this is not something that I feel comfortable doing. And so I'm being honest with you by telling you why I cannot do this commission. Because no matter what that person would have said, they would have been labeled as a homophobic. There's no leaving it up for interpretation. The reality is that when you decline something, everybody jumps to the radicalized possibilities immediately, every single time. Because people are looking for reasons to be angry at one another. They want to feel angry. They want to feel like they are superior. They want to feel like they are in control, they are in superior, whether it be morally, ideally, or in terms of idealism. But that is the reality of what's going on. I cannot fathom why somebody would take that message and think to themselves, oh, this person's a homophobe. Oh, this person's a bigot. And it's not just because religion. I'm so tired of people always bashing religion as if religion itself is the actual problem. Just because there's some bad people that were involved in religion doesn't mean everybody that follows religion is bad. It's the same thing with people on the other side of the spectrum, the people that villainize those that follow and worship different religions. They villainize these people, but even they themselves, that's a minority group within that culture that does that. Not everybody does that. I just don't like using blanket terms and statements because we ourselves individually have had bad experiences with people on the opposite side before in the past. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think that this person was just incredibly hateful, tilted, and has a bias against religion. That's just my honest opinion. And that's nothing that's unheard of, sure, but why is this the norm of how things should be responded to? The artist did nothing wrong. And I'd like to ask people to please stop villainizing people who follow religion just because you don't like the religion. Let's all be a little bit more accepting of each other, accepting of our ideals and our thoughts, and try to be better.
Yep, 100% agree. Let's all try and be better. And it must be exhausting to have to defend yourself for things that you don't even need to defend because it's nothing nothing happened there. Just be better.
The artist is going through a lot more than just this specific case. Just the amount of backlash they're getting is insane. Don't be those people that spread hate. Don't be those types of people that make hate comments and stuff, guys. Just be nice to people. Just be nice, and even if they're a little bit mean to you, you just dust it off and walk away. That's infinitely more empowering than getting upset and trying to defend yourself against demons that aren't actually there. You don't have to try and fight off and try to theorize and go too deep on ideas that aren't actually there. And even if they are there, who cares? Who cares? I have my own traits about myself, and I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what people think about me because it doesn't affect me. I just dust it off and walk the other way. What they say doesn't hurt me. It doesn't matter to me because it won't change me. I won't let it affect me.